Picture this. You've just ordered something online. Maybe it's a birthday gift for a friend, or honestly, maybe it's just some everyday household essentials you've been waiting on. You're expecting a delivery soon, and then, suddenly, your phone buzzes. You glance down, and there's a text message. Delivery suspended due to an incorrect address. Click here to update your preferences. It looks urgent, it looks official, and your very first instinct is to tap that link right away so your package doesn't get sent back. But stop, right there. What if I told you that one simple tap could literally compromise your entire digital life? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the anatomy of fake package delivery text messages, which is also known as smishing, and we're going to show you exactly how you can make yourself bulletproof against them.
And honestly, this right here brilliantly illustrates exactly why we need to talk about this today. $470 million. According to data from the Federal Trade Commission, that is the staggering amount of money Americans lost to text-based scams in 2024 alone. That's enough to buy a private island, folks. And remember, that's only what was actually reported. Because these scams are so incredibly frequent, and people often feel really embarrassed about falling for them, the actual financial damage is likely much, much higher. And the absolute most reported type of text scam? You guessed it, messages about package deliveries.
So, is that delivery text really from UPS? That's a question we absolutely need to start asking ourselves every single time our phone pings. With the massive surge in online shopping we've all seen, scammers know that at any given moment, a huge percentage of the population is actively waiting for a package. You don't have to be gullible to fall for this. You just have to be busy, a little distracted, or eagerly anticipating a delivery. Scammers are just playing the numbers game, relying on our natural human anticipation to override our cautious, everyday logic.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. The delivery scam epidemic, anatomy of fake texts, scammer psychology, our prevention checklist, what if you clicked, and finally, a recap.
Section 1. The delivery scam epidemic. So why exactly are we seeing so many of these fake texts today? Well, it basically comes down to technology and automation. Security researchers who analyze these scam networks have actually observed a single scammer device sending out approximately 100 messages per second. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That means 360,000 fake texts an hour are being blasted out from just one single phone. And these criminal outfits, they have hundreds of phones operating 24/7. They don't know you ordered a package. They don't need to. They just cast a massive net knowing that statistically, thousands of the people receiving that text right at that very second are actively waiting for a FedEx or USPS delivery.
Section 2. Anatomy of fake texts. All right, I want you to put on your detective hat here for a minute, because scammers always leave clues. Take a look at this comparison. On the left, we have a legitimate, real message from the U.S. Postal Service. Notice the origin. It comes from a specific 5-digit short code, 28777. It states the tracking ID clearly, gives a status update, and, this is absolutely critical, it does not include a web link. Now look at the fake smishing text on the right. It originates from a standard 10-digit phone number, or sometimes even a random email address. It uses a generic greeting like "Dear Customer," it features some pretty awkward grammar, and it demands immediate action by pushing you to click a highly suspicious link.
Notice how clearly the rules for the major carriers are laid out here. Legitimate companies follow strict communication protocols. USPS uses the short code 28777. UPS uses 69877. FedEx uses 5- or 6-digit corporate shortcodes, and DHL often uses 22345. So if you get a text claiming to be from FedEx but it's popping up as an iMessage, or it comes from a random @yahoo.com email address, it is 100% a scam, no questions asked. Furthermore, UPS and FedEx are never going to send you an unsolicited text demanding payment for some unexpected fee outside of their secure official portals.
Now, the crucial point here is the link itself. Scammers often use URL shorteners like bit.ly, or they try to trick you with lookalike domains. Actually, a Reddit user recently shared a text they got claiming to be from UPS, but the link ended in vo.law. Now, vo.law is the top-level internet domain for the country of Laos. I promise you, UPS is not managing your American package delivery through a domain registered in Laos. If you see domains ending in .shop, .autos, or weird misspellings like fedex.com, do not click them.
Section 3. Scammers' Psychology and Myths. There's a really dangerous myth floating around that only quote-unquote gullible or uneducated people fall for these scams. That is entirely false. Scammers rely on a psychological triad to completely bypass your rational thinking: urgency, authority, and scarcity. First, urgency. They use phrases like immediate action required, pushing you to act fast and skip your careful checks. Second, authority. By copying the branding and logos of trusted institutions like UPS or DHL, they hijack the trust you already have in those companies. And finally, scarcity. They threaten you with the loss of your package, saying it'll be returned to the sender if you don't act right now. They want to create a sudden spike of anxiety so that you react before you think.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when a scam gets highly sophisticated. Sometimes clicking a link doesn't just ask for your credit card, it tries to compromise your entire phone. Enter malicious MDM profiles. MDM stands for Mobile Device Management. Apple and Android actually designed this as a legitimate tool for corporate IT departments to manage company phones. But scammers, they have totally weaponized it.
If a scammer tricks you into downloading one of these profiles, which is something we often see in those elaborate pig-butchering cryptocurrency frauds, they essentially become the IT administrator of your personal phone. They can silently install unauthorized apps, redirect your web traffic, and even intercept encrypted data, all without technically hacking the phone's software. How? Well, because through social engineering, they tricked the user into tapping approve and installing the attack themselves. It's basically a digital vampire. It cannot come in unless you invite it.
Section 4. Scam Prevention Verification Checklist.
So how do we keep the vampires out? It is time to empower yourself with a strict, unbreakable rulebook. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. First, stop and breathe. Whenever you receive an urgent text, just let the emotion pass. Don't let their false urgency win. Second, check the official source. Never, ever click the link in the text itself. If you think there actually might be a real problem with a delivery, open your web browser, type in USPS.com or UPS.com yourself, and enter your tracking number right there. Third, block the sender on your phone and report the scam to help protect others.
And speaking of reporting, doing this is absolutely crucial because it helps authorities shut down the scammer's infrastructure. You can literally forward a screenshot of the fake text directly to the carriers. For the Postal Service, it's spam@uspis.gov. For UPS, it's fraud@ups.com. FedEx is abuse@fedex.com, and DHL is phishing@dhl.com. You can also simply forward the scam text message to the number 7726, which handily spells spam on your keypad to alert your mobile carrier directly.
Section 5. What if you clicked?
But look, what if you made a mistake? We're all human, and in a rush moment, it happens. If you tapped a malicious link, here is your chronological survival guide. Immediately, close the web page and clear your browser cache. Do not enter any information. Next, if you did happen to enter your credit card or bank details, call your bank immediately. Explain the situation so they can monitor or cancel your card. Shortly after that, change your passwords, especially if you reuse them, and ensure two-factor authentication or 2FA is enabled on your important accounts. Finally, run a security scan on your device using a trusted antivirus tool, and definitely consider placing a freeze on your credit report with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion just to prevent any identity theft.
Section 6. Recap, an important disclaimer. All right, here are your major takeaways. Remember the sheer scale of this. Scammers are firing off 100 texts a second. You are going to get one eventually. When you do, look for the red flags. 10-digit phone numbers instead of short codes, terrible grammar, and weird URLs. Never let their fake urgency override your common sense. Adopt a strict, non-negotiable policy to never click links in unexpected text messages. Always navigate to the official website yourself. And finally, talk about it. Warn your parents, your friends, and your coworkers. And just a quick note before we wrap up. Please note, this explainer is intended for educational purposes. If you believe you are the victim of identity theft or a cyber attack, please consult with cybersecurity or financial experts for personalized advice. The information presented here is based on the threat landscape and data current as of August 28, 2026. Which leaves us with one final thought. You now have the knowledge to spot a delivery text scam from a mile away. You know their tricks, you know their fake urgency, and you know their bad links. But scammers rely on the uninformed to make their millions. So who will you protect today by sharing this explainer? Keep your guard up, trust your instincts, and stay curious. Thanks for watching.